Hello, everybody. This is Scooby.
And that means I'm Steven, and you're here for another episode of The Feedback, a podcast aimed at expanding your music library as well as our own. As per usual, I'm going to get right into my drinks with my new expedited introduction. And I have the tried and true high quality H2O, and has become a little bit of like a tradition, I guess, at this point, because I ran out and went back to the store and it was on sale. I hope you're having a good time, because I'm having a Baja Blast. Scoobs. Like, we're the Dewcast, or the Baja Blast cast at the very least. What are your drinks today? Not what are our drinks, because we're not sharing. Maybe we are. What are your drinks, and what have you been listening to that you're going to share with us today?
I have three beverages tonight. I moved back up to three, of course, as always, water. I have a Mountain Dew as well. It's a Mountain Dew Voltage, the blue raspberry flavor.
Ooh.
And I also have a Heineken because I don't
Whoa.
drink I don't drink beer often, but I enjoy a Heineken. And also I like Rolling Rocks too.
You enjoy a good Heine?
Yeah, give me a good Heine. I feel like they're very like dad beers, both Heineken and Rolling Rock, but whatever. I mean, I don't drink that often, so if I'm
Mm,
gonna drink, I better enjoy what I drink, right?
I agree. You should definitely enjoy what you drink if you're going to drink at all. And I would definitely agree that those both feel like dad beers.
Right? Yeah.
I didn't do an open. I forgot to, but here we go. Ooh, that was a that was a real big high punch there,
Hell yeah.
and a little ASMR for you.
So before I get into the song, last time we recorded, I spoke about I had an anecdote about how a coworker and I had a conversation about what she would
Yes,
expect me to listen to. And I did
yes,
follow up on that. I,
you
you know,
did.
I
Oh
did.
yeah. All right, good.
So we were at work the other day and I brought it up and I was like, I hope this isn't weird, but this is a discussion I had with my friend on our podcast. She's like, "Oh, you have a podcast." And I was like, "Word of mouth, baby." But I said, what would you expect me to listen to?" Because she's been working there for maybe like 3 or 4 months now. So I
Okay.
wouldn't like we get along really well, but I wouldn't say we're like best buds or anything. So it's still kind of
Right.
like I don't know this person super well. So if you were to make that judgment, like what do you think? And she said, I can't pin anything down, but I feel like you don't really just listen to one genre. I feel like you're all over the place. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's very accurate. You kind of nailed it. Then, of course, she returned the question. I was like, well, I know you like Mac Miller, but overall, Divorced Dad Rock, Breaking Benjamin, Nickelback. She was like, I like that, but I'm kind of like you, just all over the place. I was like, okay,
I was gonna say I think that it's pretty spot on that she did that well to actually, it wouldn't be a, is it still considered pigeonholing somebody if it's in
a
a
broad
general
view.
speak? Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, at least she hit the nail on the head. I guess that's the best way to put it, right? Like you said, she hit the nail
Yeah.
on the head. You do like to listen to all your different music, and I think that's a good compliment too. And I wonder if like the Mac Miller thing was, oh, I knew you listened to a lot of things, but I didn't think your realm went as far as Mac Miller. All right, I see you.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, today, of course, I couldn't decide on a song. So, Stephen, we are returning to an old tried and true tradition on our podcast.
Oh
I've,
boy.
I've chosen three different songs by three different artists. I'll give you some little tidbits and I'm going to ask you to choose. So, the first track is by a band that you definitely know, but it might be a song that you don't.
Okay.
The second track
Band I know.
is by,
Song maybe you don't. Sorry, I'm
yes,
taking notes.
nope, no worries. The second song is by an artist that I wouldn't think you know, and therefore you also wouldn't know the song. And the third
Okay.
track is by a band you definitely know, and it's a song you definitely know. Because it's a song that we have spoken about before and bonded over. So,
Oh, okay. I wrote it down. I wanted to be myself prepared. It's a band I know possibly, a song I probably don't, an artist you don't think I would know, and probably not the song in that same sense, right?
Correct.
And then the final is one I definitely know, and a song I definitely know that we've definitely bonded over. And you know what? I was gonna say I'm not even going to take the time to deliberate and go back and forth. I would have just picked song three because I wanted to see what that one was. But before you started telling us what all three songs were for the choices,
Hmm.
I looked over and I had my set of dice nearby because we did just recently start playing and recording our Dungeons and Dragons episodes. See, what would that be called?
I would just call it another podcast, honestly, because
A
that's what
limited series.
limited series. Yes, that's what it's going to be eventually. So,
All right. So we have a limited series that we just began, and yeah. So I have the dice nearby still, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna
ooh,
put 1 and 4 on song one, 2 and 5 for song two, and 5 and 6 for song three. Okay.
leaving it up to fate.
Fate would have it,
All
as
right.
fate would have it. It's a one. So we're listening to the band that you think I might know, and a song that I might not. What are we
Okay.
listening to?
So, it's not a band you might know. It's a band you definitely know.
Okay.
And allow me to say, first time repeat artist on the feedback.
Uh oh.
I'm breaking the seal. It's been over a year. The very first artist that I brought to this podcast in episode 2 was Dance Gavin Dance.
And
And it
Haley.
and Haley, yes. But this time it's just gonna be a straight up Dance Gavin Dance song, not a mashup. Just that good old DGD Swancore goodness.
That's awesome. I'm excited for that. We had just been talking about them recently. We definitely talked about them in our last episode a couple of times. Right? Was that the last episode? Yeah, it was because that's when I made that hot take,
Yes.
and then you went through and dissected it, and then eventually we're like, you know what? I kind of agree.
Yep. Yeah.
So we've been talking about Dance Gavin Dance a lot because I feel like we've talked about them again since last week. I love them too. So like I'm always down to listen to more Dance Gavin Dance. I'm excited for this. But you don't think I know the song? Is it because it's new?
It's not that new, but I'd say it's a deeper cut. So the song I have chosen is Nothing Shameful. And specifically from the Tree City Sessions 2, which is a live recording, which as of this recording, they are actually releasing tracks from Tree City Sessions 3, which I am very excited about. But this track was originally from their Afterburner album in 2020. And Tree City Sessions 2 also came out in 2020, later that year, which, man, 2020 was a rough year. And when this came out, I was like, this makes me feel okay. It was actually one of the things that was like, the world is on fire, but one of my favorite bands just released an amazing album, and it makes me feel happy. So,
That's great. It's great when you know your band can give you little gems like that and kind of pull you out of whatever funk you might have been getting into or just been like surprise.
yes. So, Tree City Sessions 2, recorded in 2020, and they actually and I say performed, I'm gonna put it in quotes because they performed it on the Sacramento Bridge live. It wasn't like they were playing the backing tracks or anything like that, but you could tell that there was studio work done on it, is the best way to say it. I think it's more in the sense that it was performed live full band, not as when a lot of bands go into the recording album or recording sessions, it's like, all right, we're going to record drums first. And then once drums are
Right.
done, we'll do bass and we'll layer it. Whereas
Right.
this was performed full band and recorded. And while there was work done on it, performing live like that to a recording for a recording is pretty tough, especially for the kind of music that they play. So I don't really mind that it's like you could tell that they did some alterations, you know?
Right. I think we talked about that with I gotta think back in my notes now. I want to say the band name. I know it's Nowhere, but
Mm.
I always say Everything Everywhere All at Once, and that's the movie.
Yes, the song was "It's All Nothing Until It's Everything."
Yes. It's all nothing till everything. Correct. We talked about that where they even like put it on the screen, like
Yes.
some vocal work was done later. Because how the hell are you going to get clear audio for what she's singing in that room with what was going on? It's not a matter of like, oh, boo, you could have done better. Oh, why didn't you set up better? No, like what they were doing in that exact moment wasn't meant to be for the recording purposes. It was for the let's show you how we're going to do this. It's going to be really cool.
Yes. Yeah.
But the only thing they could have done, barring the edits, is like put that person in a room with soundproofing. But then they're not a part of what's going on at all anyway, so that kind of ruined it. So, what they do in those situations, like you said, is accepted, needed, wanted, and if you don't really, yeah, don't be a purist on something so stupid like that. That's what I'm trying to get at with that.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you when you mentioned, because I know that we talked about this as well recently, was that they'll do multiple names when it's the same group. So I'm gonna guess this is the same group of musicians that did Tree City Sessions 1, 2, and they're gonna be doing 3 together now, correct? Or is it a different grouping, or don't you know offhand?
It's a different, yeah. Tree City Sessions 1 and 2 actually I think had Tillian on vocals. I mean the band lineup changed throughout
Right.
there, but mostly I think rhythm guitarists usually. So when I describe this song, I will use the lineup of the band that was current as of this recording because the members have changed since then.
Okay.
Not all of them, but several of them.
Right.
So in this case, when this was recorded, we had Tillian Pearson on live, yes. Tillian Pearson on clean vocals, John Mess on unclean vocals, Will Swan on guitar, Andrew Wells on guitar and backing vocals, and also sometimes lead vocals. Tim Furyk on bass, RIP. Tim passed away in 2022. Big hit to the band. He was one of the primary songwriters and also just one of the longest tenured bassists in the band.
Damn.
And then Matt
I don't know if I
Mingus
knew
on
that.
drums. Yep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
So
cut you off there, but yeah, I did not. I don't know if I knew that he passed or that he was the longest standing bass member for them either.
yeah. So
Hmm.
as of today, Tillian Pearson left the band. So Andrew Wells actually took over on lead vocals and gave up playing guitar. No, I say gave up, but he does not play guitar in the band anymore, though he still plays guitar in other bands and projects such as Idola, and I think he's in probably two or three other bands. Most of these guys are, honestly.
Yeah.
Sergio Medina is on bass, who he's in Idola with Andrew Wells. He's also in Royal Coda with Will Swan and Kurt Travis, formerly of Dance Gavin Dance. So like there's this big conglomeration of all these dudes are in tons of different bands and projects with each other, basically.
I need to see the Venn diagram of Dance Gavin Dance
Okay.
bands.
So this is kind of funny. When you know how when you go on Wikipedia and you look up a band, like they'll have that bar graph at the bottom where
Right.
it's like they don't have one because I think it's just too complicated because there have been
That's
so many
hilarious.
different band members. They've had four different clean vocalists. They've had two different unclean vocalists. They've had so many different rhythm guitar players and so many different basses that like I think trying to make that bar graph would just fill up your entire screen.
It'd be awful, and not to mention like the amount of times they have to put like gaps in for when they left and then
Yeah,
came back, and then
exactly.
like and then also like we're doing they'd have to like it'd be like one of those ones where they probably not only would run out of space, they'd run out of different colors because they do like colors with lines going one way and lines
Uh-huh.
going another way for like, oh, we're also doing guitar at this point, we're also singing at this point, we're doing unclean, clean, guitar,
Yep.
rhythm, and we wrote. It's like, ah, how do we
Yeah.
make that a color?
Because like in the case of for example like Andrew Wells, it's like oh, he does backing vocals, but also lead vocals. But both clean and unclean. He also played guitar, but at one point he was just a touring member, and then he was a backing member, and now
Jesus.
he's like a full blown like listed as a member of the band, and it's like, how are you going to make all those distinctions
he
with just
he
one
alone.
guy?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say he alone within Dance Gavin Dance has a larger, extensive bar graph of accomplishments than other full bands have.
exactly.
Oh man, yeah. You need to literally just have like a you need to make a Venn diagram of some kind of just I don't even understand. That I don't know. I don't know that you could.
Yeah.
You would need multiple pages of data and graphs to fully depict.
And then, so the other thing that is worth noting, there's actually plenty of things worth noting, but Dance Gavin Dance, when it comes to genre, have kind of pioneered what has been called swancore, and you've probably heard us mention it on this podcast quite a bit, just because we listen to Dance Gavin Dance a lot and lots of related bands. And I know that on Spotify Wrapped at the end of the year, and I know Apple Music has an equivalent, I don't recall what it's called, but it'll do the thing where it will list off like your most listened to artists, most listened to songs, most listened to albums, most listened to genres, etc. And of course, what you're going to do with that is share it on social media because that's what everyone does.
Right.
And for me, when it says Swancore is like my top one or two genres, people are going to see that and be like, what the fuck is Swancore?
Right.
And it's really hard to describe because it is a mashup of like five or six different genres. So I listed the genres off myself, like just thinking about it. Like, what would I say Swancore is before I looked up what the like widely accepted genres under that umbrella are? And I nailed it. The only one that I didn't list, and I'll point it out when we get there. So, Swancore is a combination of post hardcore, math rock, experimental, emo, progressive, jazz fusion, and that's the one I didn't list, and
I'm
funk.
surprised. I'm surprised I thought you would have had jazz fusion.
See, I think I kind of lumped that in with funk.
Okay.
So,
That's fair. I gotta say, I would have said post hardcore
mhm,
and I would have said some kind of funk kind of emo. I
right.
don't think I would have gotten anything else that you mentioned, but upon like hearing you say that, it's kind of like, yeah, yeah, okay, I can see that for sure. And then, to be honest, I never listened to mathcore or math rock in any capacity because I always was like, anytime I ever heard anybody talk about it, they never really made it sound like it was something I would enjoy.
Yeah, it doesn't sound appealing. It sounds like
A
I don't
chore,
know, like super nerdy, and not
right?
the not like the fun kind of nerdy. Like the I
Right.
have to like pay attention and lock it and count and blah blah blah.
Right. If I'm not doing everything that they're doing, I'm not going to appreciate or like this. And I gotta tell you, the amount of stuff that you've brought that's math rock, I've been like, God damn, I think I need to start listening to more math rock.
Yeah,
And yeah, yeah, it kind of makes sense that Dance Gavin Dance opened that door for me without me even realizing. And it, like hearing that and then thinking back about math rock songs we've listened to, and I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, okay, uh huh, for sure. That is
yep,
100% correct.
yeah.
Man, I gotta say, you said I wasn't sure, or you didn't know if I would know the song. I will tell you that I don't know if I know it. The biggest thing that I do with Dance Gavin Dance, and I apologize to anyone that's listening that's gonna get mad at me right now, only because you're gonna be all sassy about it, and I get it. Yep, I know. But I would put Dance Gavin Dance on, and I would put like how I was telling you before, like Downtown Battle Mountain and Downtown Battle Mountain 2.
Yeah,
I would cue those two up back to back, and then I would set it to just play anything by Dance Gavin Dance after that. So like the amount of different ones that I've listened to and like been like, fuck yeah, this one's my favorite. I couldn't tell you who was in it, what song it
right.
was, what album it was even on. And I apologize to anybody out there that's gonna be mad about that. But I would still say that Dance Gavin Dance is in my top five bands, and I don't care how anybody thinks of me.
Oh, people will always, always, always debate what the best quote unquote era of Dance Gavin Dance was. Just like
Right.
go to a bunch of elder emos and be like, hey, who's the best Dance Gavin Dance vocalist? And just watch them start arguing. So,
I love it.
yeah. I mean, me personally, I love Kurt Travis. But I like all of them. So I'm not gonna be like, that's my personal favorite. Does that
Right.
mean that he was the best? Probably not. I feel like he's improved a ton since actually leaving Dance Gavin Dance. Like I think his later work is much better, but I still love what he did with them. So it's also
Well,
worth considering that that was like over 10 years ago at this point.
right. And I was gonna say, is Downtown Battle Mountain and Downtown Battle Mountain 2 their best lineup of all time? Maybe. Arguably, who knows? But for me, it is. And that's why I always start with those two, but then I remember how good everything that they've ever done is, in my opinion. So I don't care. And like you were just saying, like it's the same thing. I don't know. I don't care. For me it is, and that's all that matters. Because that's
Yep.
what music is.
Yeah. So now I'm just curious to see if you know this song.
Me too.
So with that said, I think are we ready to jump in?
Oh, absolutely. We've already gotten to like first listen type conversation, and we didn't even get the first listen.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are going to jump into Nothing Shameful by Dance Gavin Dance off of Tree City Sessions 2.
All you do is take, you can have it all. Cat in your web or cat, catch me when I fall. Stare, kill me with your stare, all I do is follow. Care, do you even care if I'll be there tomorrow? There's nothing shameful that I wouldn't do. I'm gonna contemplate that city girl. There's nothing shameful that I wouldn't do. I must have killed that shit. I should have stayed in Florida. So much I spent my shake up in. I'm just a garden cracker. I spilled my beans 'cause I'm a fiend. I lost my extra mustard. Well, those thoughts you think don't even matter. Punch yourself, punch you in the face. Well, those thoughts you think don't even matter. If you don't care, you don't have to say. Take me for granted. I know I never really meant that much to you. All our memories will be erased. The only way out is forward, as far away as I can think. Where to now? What happened to my fucking purpose? I am just a stone sinking, broken and numb. Where to now? The way you made me worthless. Truth is in the end, you're not alone. Can you hear me? Calling your name from the balcony seats you left empty. Can you feel me? Tearing apart everything we used to be. Take, all you do is take, you can have it all. Cat in your web or cat, catch me when I fall. Stare, kill me with your stare, all I do is follow. Care, do you even care if I'll be there tomorrow? Don't forget to clap for flats. I'm
you don't even have to ask me. I don't care if you're going to or not. I'm taking it. I do know that song. I don't remember the last time I listened to all of it, but I definitely remember Tillion's part.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say that I knew every word because when you're listening to it, it just goes so hard and it's such just like I don't know. I feel like even though I said that my two favorite albums by Dance Gavin Dance are Downtown Battle Mountain 2, I will say that like this song is actually in my top 5 of Dance Gavin Dance songs
Yep.
cuz this song is just amazing. And what I love is probably like one of my favorite parts about what we try to do on this show is like if you don't have an appreciation for them already because you didn't know who they were, you didn't like them, you never give them a chance. I'm guilty of all those things. For me, it's that I get to learn new things about stuff that I really, really liked. So I wasn't sure that I knew this song because you mentioned that Andrew Wells sings in this.
Hmm.
I gotta tell you, and I'm, was it Andrew Wells this time, or is this the original?
So he was in the original as well, and in this
Okay,
version.
okay. I just wanted to make sure because I know you said someone changed. So, but yes, I did not know that there was another singer in this. I don't know if that's just because the way that it was mixed. I'm too naive because the music was what I was listening to more than the singer. Because sometimes I get caught up doing that a lot.
Yeah.
It happens. We're guilty of different things, but I didn't know. So knowing that that's there and that he's another part of it, that's pretty cool, and I get to have an even deeper appreciation for that. One more thing I wanted to say, and I'm sorry because I'm going off on a lot, but like different things that I did not know and have a better appreciation for again. The amount of energy that John Mess brings to this,
Yes. Oh yeah.
dude, that's amazing. Like watching him like double kick, jump, run in the background because he wants to pretend he's doing the double bass, and like, yeah, I loved it. I think he was the best part of that live performance for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed to admit that.
Oh, definitely. I think close to the end of Tillion's tenure in the band, which is kind of a shame that it had to end. And like, I understand there were some extenuating circumstances and things like that, but I feel like very close to the end, they really started to nail this synergy of having three vocalists, which isn't most bands have one vocalist.
Right.
So when you consider that they're like, we're just gonna have three, because why not? And it really worked in several songs. I feel like this is the first one that really, really nailed it. There was another one on the album that came out beforehand. I think the song was Evaporate. That song was also very good. And that one was interesting too because the ending of the song was sort of like a medley of a bunch of their older songs, which was really cool. We both know how I feel about that. I love leitmotifs and callbacks and all that. But I think here, despite the fact that they're both the clean vocalists and they both have relatively high pitches, there's a very clear distinction between Tillian and Andrew's vocals. And to me, Andrew's part is my favorite of the song. Musically speaking, vocally speaking, that part of the song is always just like, oh my god, this song is so good, but this part of this song, top tier for me. And I think it's because the song itself is, like you said, when you started talking about it, it goes pretty damn hard. And when you hit that bridge, it drops down to just the guitar and vocals, and it's a very different feel to the rest of the song. And I'm just going to say it, I think it's beautiful. Between his vocals and Will Swan playing the guitar, and then the way the bridge builds back up with the rest of the band coming back in into that final chorus is just like top notch to me in terms of everything they're doing, musicality, vocals, lyrics. This is why this is one of my favorite songs by them. It's just they're firing on all cylinders, and it's I would never say that there is a perfect song objectively. Subjectively, I think this is a perfect song.
So I think I know what you mean by when saying that, like objectively, like, you know, it's not your opinion that it's that way. You're just saying like in terms of being a song that brings you to different emotions and kind of like carries you throughout and makes you feel things, like that kind of thing. Like,
Yes.
okay, yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, like I don't know how you couldn't. This song almost feels like it's a reprieve in the middle of the song. It's a song within a song almost. Like a, would that be a sonnet? Is that correct? Am I wrong on that one?
Sonnet is a form of poetry. I don't quite
Whatever.
know the
I'm just
yeah.
talking out my ass, I guess. But anyway, you know what I'm trying to say here. There's something like you just said. It's very beautiful, and I think that was part of the reason why I have that better appreciation of knowing that it was different. Was knowing now that it's a different person. Yes, absolutely. You know the difference. I thought Tillian was singing differently when that went on because I didn't know that there was a third vocalist because, like you said, what band has three vocalists?
Right.
And I know for a fact that wasn't John Mess singing clean because no.
Because he doesn't do that.
Because no, yeah, exactly. And I mean, I feel like I would know if that was the case because it'd be like, oh, this is the only time it's ever happened. I'd be like, oh, yeah, I know this song because of that. And that would be
Right.
the reason why. So, yeah, like, yeah, I don't know. Aside from that, I had a question. Where was that at? Did you say what the concert was? That bridge?
The Sacramento Tower Bridge in
Okay.
California.
It was really cool because like you could see there was a pier in the background with like the Ferris wheel, not the Ferris wheel, merry-go-round. No, Ferris wheel. Yes, there's the big Ferris wheel kind of going around in the background. You can see there's something going on and like all the lighting and stuff. That was a really cool live performance there.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that like a typical thing to like have like is that like a normal venue?
Oh,
Is that
no. No, this was recorded during like prime COVID times.
gotcha? So no one was out.
Yeah, I think that's part of why they were able to pull it off. Just like they're
That's
how
cool.
are we going to shut down this metropolitan bridge for a concert? Well, who's using it at
Right.
this like I'm sure people were still using it, but if there was ever a time to be like we're going to close this down for an event, that's the time
Right.
to do it. It's like taking advantage of
Why not do something cool in a time when we can't do anything cool for people?
exactly.
That's really neat.
And again, this is something that we've harped on multiple times when it comes to Dance Gavin Dance, but I really love the dichotomy of the lyrics between Tillian and Andrew being like
Yes.
this song is about like a very tough relationship and codependency and like I
Yep.
understand what's happening and my life is being ruined but I can't help myself. And then John Mess going, I'm just a corny cracker. I spilled my beans because I'm a fiend. I lost my extra mustard.
Dude.
And then you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? How does this make sense? And then when he comes back in again, the lyrics are relevant. When he's talking about all those thoughts you think don't even matter, you're like, this actually really fits. Like
Right.
thematically, lyrically, this fits. And then he just goes back to nonsense again. And the entire
Right.
time you're like, it doesn't matter what he's saying. I just love hearing him. I love the nonsense that flows from his mouth. Because as strange as it is, it always fits. Maybe not lyrically, but melodically and the rhythm of it, he's always on point.
I was gonna say that's definitely one of those instances where his whatever is just yeah. Like I don't know if you want to say that's like ADHD. I don't know if it's his or if it's just the style and what he does. I don't care. As you said, like it doesn't matter. And it's just it's one of those times where you don't know if it's one of those like is he insane? What is he doing? Whatever. Like he I think personally, I'm gonna blow a little smoke up his ass, and but at the same time, I'm not lying. In my opinion, he's showing off the ability to find the correct amount of syllables that'll still work in the form that it needs to fit the song and also tell its own story. Maybe it's related to what's going on in his verse, but it has absolute batshit nothing to do with the song, and it doesn't matter because it's beautiful because of the way that it fits, like in that kind of that cadence. It like it makes you feel comfortable.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, there are some songs where what he is singing totally fits lyrically and thematically, too, where you're like, this song as a unit makes sense lyrically. He's speaking or singing on the same themes that the other singer is going with. And then there's other times where it's just like I don't know what you're saying, man. I really don't.
What?
And the thing is, people will ask him about his lyrics all the time, and he's so just like evasive about it. He'll just be like, "Yeah, I sing what sounds good." And that's really it. And they're like, "Yeah, but like do any of your lyrics have a deeper meaning, or are you trying to get at something?" And he's like, "Sometimes yeah, sometimes no." And it's like, "But when?" Ah!
Right. No, that's hilarious. I like that he does that. I wonder if it's because he just doesn't want the focus to be on him or if it's just like a bit. That's great. I would love to have an interview with him. And then like I also feel like it would be I wouldn't ask the questions they asked. I'd just try to like the Between Two Ferns style almost. Like just kind of do stupid shit and see how much he can riff and like see like the how much he can do that on like on the fly. I think that'd be interesting to see that.
Ask serious questions and then just be super specific and ask about a particular song and then hone in on a particular line and be like, "And when you said riding a rhino, pico de gallo, what did you mean?" And then your next question is just like, "Ping pong or table tennis?"
Was Pico de Gallo the friends we made along the way?
Right.
Um, but I was we've talked about this before with the Genius page and that it includes different things and has different lyrics and not different lyrics, different notes. My apologies. Different lyrics have different notes.
Right.
But on the final verse of John Mass's line where he says, "Don't forget to clap for plants," there's another kind of like write up similar to what you've said before, where the quote of whoever this contributor was says, "Once again, John's lyrics seem to have no place or significance to Tillion's lyrics, and it's almost like he's screaming to a different song. However, we are here because of the oxygen plants, trees, and the planet gives. So we should be thankful and grateful we can even view the song's lyrics, have Tillion sing and John scream because of them." And the last part was just kind of like, yeah, I get it, you're gushing, and I feel it. But the part where he said he's screaming to a completely different song, it's kind of how I feel. And like,
Yep.
it's almost like it's almost like they put him in the room and they spun him around 100 times and then just said, "Okay, go." Like, and he walked into the wrong recording studio, or like he picked up the lyrics from the wrong song. But they are great, and like there's different stuff about them that are just. What was the other one too? There was another one we were talking about before. I can't remember now, but that's okay. I'm glad that John Mess is still a part of it,
Yes.
and I understand. People grow, people change. I'm sorry to see that Tillion's leaving, but like we'll still have all these albums to hold on to and go back to and revisit. And because of the fact that the lineup had been such a revolving door for so long, it's one of those things where it's kind of like it's easier to be there with it because or to accept it that it's happening because like you're kind of used to the lineup changing, and no matter what was said and no matter what happened, you'll still kind of hold on to that breath that they might come back and do another album together. So
Yeah. I remember back in 2007, 2008, I was, and I still am actually a member of Sputnik Music, which is, Tom actually shouted that out last time we spoke, and he said it's probably going to die soon, and honestly, he's probably right, because the administrator of that site doesn't give a shit about it anymore, and it's like held together by prayers and gum. But
that's unfortunate.
back around that time, I just remember there was always a music news section, and so many times Dance Gavin Dance was in it. It was like Johnny Craig leaves Dance Gavin Dance, or no, it was like Johnny Craig kicked from Dance Gavin Dance. Kurt Travis joins Dance Gavin Dance. John Mess leaves Dance Gavin Dance. John Mess rejoins Dance Gavin Dance. Kurt Travis leaves Dance Gavin Dance. Johnny Craig rejoins Dance Gavin Dance. Johnny Craig leaves Dance Gavin, and that was it for like a period of like 3 or 4 years. And I was like, I have no idea who, because I wasn't listening to them back then. I was like, I have no idea who this band is and what is going on with them.
There's so much turmoil.
Yeah, but
It almost makes you feel like it's a soap opera, and you kind of want to just see what's going on with them and why.
yeah. But I do have to say, as you said, I'm very glad that John Mess rejoined the band, and I honestly, I feel with every album ever since he rejoined, he has upped his game every single time where he just gets better and better. But I do think that when he left and Will Swan did the unclean vocals, he did a very fine job for the one album he did it, especially considering he was playing guitar while doing them too. And also sometimes rapping. So actually, at some points, they had four vocalists if it was also a song where Will rapped.
That's actually absurd. And yeah, why? I mean, I understand why,
Ah,
because
I'm
you
trying.
can
Yeah.
and you have the ability to, and if it works, why wouldn't you? I get it all. Don't get me wrong,
Yes.
but just
I'm
like,
I'm trying to
God,
think of an example, and I was like, oh, the Ghost of Billy Royalton. That has the three of them, and also Will rapping. So I'll probably put that song on the playlist just because I mentioned it, and we'll have an example of it.
that'll be great, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Dance Gavin Dance. I'm glad that they're the one that came first for repeat artist. It would have been your first repeat artist because technically we said that I brought a Paramore song after all the different times Haley was featured.
Yeah.
So I guess technically we both brought a repeat artist then. Is that true?
I
I guess
mean,
Dance Gavin Dance was more featured in that song because it was mostly Dance Gavin Dance. It just kind of had a verse by Haley, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're right.
I feel like it's our first real repeat artist, not features,
I would agree.
because, yeah. But the seal has been broken.
All right, that means we can all start doing it.
I knew I would eventually, but I wanted to give it time.
I think we're tailing to that point where we tail off and talk about other things, which is fine. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a teaser. Maybe you will have to make the decision, but I've definitely been thinking about bringing the very first artist that we ever did an episode on, our very first pilot episode, if you will.
Uh-huh.
And I've been thinking about bringing them to the show.
I remember you mentioned that not too long ago, so
Yeah,
I'd be for it.
they're definitely here. They've been front of mind, so I've been thinking about that. So maybe I'll bring them next.
All right.
That teaser was purposely vague for our average or our avid listeners. I was gonna say average, but I meant avid. I was so close.
If we have mentioned that artist before and that episode before, so if you do your due diligence, you'll know who we're talking about.
Exactly. That this teaser is for you.
That's right. Yeah, I think that's really all I have to say about this song. I do think that even though my personal favorite vocalist for Dance Gavin Dance was Kurt, I do think that around the era of Jackpot Juicer, they were really making their best music with the lineup that they had with Tillian and Andrew and John. I think that they were really nailing it, and then it was the unfortunate passing of Tim, and then there were allegations against Tillian, and things started getting rocky. I did really like their latest album, Pantheon, but I feel like they're trying to find their footing again after the first real significant lineup change in like 10 years. So while I do think Pantheon was very good and I liked it, I'm very excited to see what the next album will sound like once they're more used to their current lineup.
I gotta tell you, I've been a little bit lost in the last few things you said because, like I said, I'm not familiar with where I'm at and how much Dance Gavin Dance I've listened to,
It's the
or
last
even
two
what
albums they've
albums.
put out,
Uh,
basically. So,
And I don't even know. I'm shame on me for not hearing them. I don't think I've listened to some of their newer stuff recently. So what this is telling me is that I have a lot of Dance Gavin Dance to listen to, and I've been thinking about putting them on for a while, and I'm going to have to.
you know what though, I would suggest if you do it, start from the beginning because you love. Yeah, we already know you love the Downtown Battle Mountain albums, and even go all the start at whatever I say is Royal Ocean. It's rough, but it's good. It's their very first EP, but there's a lot of good stuff on it, and then just go from there and go through the entire journey and appreciate
Honestly,
all the different eras.
I think I'm gonna have to because I mean I've done that with many other people, and I've been doing it again with Kanye recently. And I mean, starting from the beginning and getting to the end and seeing where they're at and all that stuff, it's very it's very interesting seeing. And I mean, I even talked about it with J. Cole. I'm pretty sure that episode was what, like, that aired 2 weeks ago as of our recording right now. And that was one of those ones that was like, it made me want to go back and listen to their discography and kind of just see different things that I missed. And then also, like, there's a few songs that I feel like should be automatic skips, and I'll stand on that ground firmly. It's Wet Dream, by the way, by J. Cole. I firmly believe that song should be skipped anytime it comes on. If it doesn't, you're weird, and you're just as weird as J. Cole for recording it.
I have zero context for this, but judging from the title, I'd probably agree with you just off of that.
Yep, I don't want to go into it for anybody that doesn't know about it. Scoobs, if you want to know, I'll tell you later.
Maybe when I'm older.
When you're older, I'll tell you. When you're ready to hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I lost my train of thought there, but that's okay because it was a little tangent anyway. I'm going to go ahead and say that I think this is a great time for me to ask you to listen to this pre-recorded message about social media, because I haven't gotten as concise with the exit as I have with the intro. The outro as the intro. Thanks for that killer introduction. Couldn't have done it better myself. All right, Scoobs, time to get real. Cue the Sarah McLachlan. Just kidding. We do, first of all, want to say thank you for checking us out, and hopefully if you made it this far, you like what we're doing, and you want to help. And if so, here are some key ways. Most importantly, share our podcast with a friend or an enemy. We don't judge. We just encourage that organic sharing and growth, because that's how Scoobs and I learn about songs together when we do our episodes. Next, you can share our social media posts from Facebook as The Feedback, THE space FEEDBACK, or on Instagram, THEFEEDBACK_PC. You can comment, share, like, whatever you want to do. Just make it constructive at least. You can leave us a review on Facebook or wherever else you might be able to. I know some streaming services allow it. 5 stars would be great, and if not, tell us why. Next, you can check out our episode-inspired playlists. We send one out every week. We're doing it for you guys and ourselves, but mostly you guys. Keep listening to us weekly. That'd be awesome too. Or check out our old stuff. We got some catalog at this point. And the most important thing of all, just keep being awesome. Alright. Well, I think that was quite a bit, but I think it was all-inclusive, and I hope you do it. So I want to say thanks, and love ya.
And now that you've gone and done all the requisite social media things like comment, share, subscribe, we're probably at some point going to have to re-record that, just because we're starting to put our fingers in a lot of different pies now. By the time this comes out, I'm sure that at least one of our other projects will have started up, that being Feedback Gaming, where we're just gonna play games and talk about them, because if there's two things I am passionate about, it's music and video games. So why not?
I couldn't agree more.
And then just branching out from that even more, by the time this comes out, I can't say that this will for certain be out, but it will be in the works. As Steven mentioned, we are playing Dungeons and Dragons and also making that into a podcast. I am DMing, and it's stressful, but I think it's going to come out pretty good. I think it's going to be pretty entertaining. Tentative title on that, and if it changes, we'll let you know. Roll High, Don't Die.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
And I already alluded that I will be doing, most likely, if it's not this episode, it's the one after, a song that we've definitely talked about, or a band we've definitely talked about, and a song I've definitely mentioned by them on a different episode as well. Definitely a lot of callbacks on this song that I'm choosing. So,
see, I know the band that you're talking about, but I wouldn't specifically know the song, I don't think. So,
nope,
I'm curious.
But I've definitely mentioned the song before. You know that it exists because of this show.
All right. Good to know. Is that enough teasers for you, everyone? We just teased 2 different channels and projects and the next 3 episodes. How's that? All right. I think that's going to do it for us. Do you have anything left to say to the people?
I just wanted to make sure that if you didn't already, I wish you'd go out and check out the band that gives us the intro and outro music to our podcast.
Damn it!
And that is Egg by Exile. They are a wonderful producer. They make wonderful music. And thanks to me calling the knot right here, we're allowed to use their song by their good graces. Ain't that
I
right, Scoops?
I could hear the smirk in your I could hear the smirk on your face as you're saying it, damn it.
It's huge. It's ear to ear. I
Ugh,
wish the camera was on.
I
The
can
one that I'm about
hear
to wave
it.
to.
Yeah. All right. Well, yes, thank you, Exile, like Steven said. Thanks for listening, everyone, and join us next week for whatever we dig up next. Goodbye.
I was waiting. I was holding out. I'm like, is he gonna remember? Is he gonna remember?
Nope.
You never, ever, ever say anything else until after you've done the exile call out. I'm like, he forgot.
I did. It's been a while. It's been a while since we did a
It
podcast
has.
episode, so
I have a planet-wide initiative to just get enough chickens to go around and eat all the ticks, and then once they're gone, we'll
we
have
can eat
extra
all the
chicks.
chickens. Yeah.
Exactly. We'll have extra chickens. We can eat them, and we'll be fine. It's a win-win. Because they fuck with the deer, and I love venison. I just want the meat. Which definitely sounds worse coming out now, but I don't care.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh, time to clip that.
Ah, fuck, we're recording. Yeah.
Yep.
I just want the meat.